Hey guys, this is Monica at Academic Phoenix Plus, and welcome back to modeling a desk. Today I want to go over how to model these simple assets, which is going to complete the table. By the way, you can download this desk at academicphoenixplus.com, and that way you can follow along. All right, so the first thing I want to create is this really simple object. It is obviously a picture frame. So I'm going to start off with a cube. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to make it small, a little elongated, focus in, and it's very thin. So I'm going to go ahead and crush it like so. Maybe slightly bigger than I think. Okay. Then I'm going to grab a face. I'm going to do a Control E, and I'm going to scale uniformly. So I'm going to click on this little guy, which activates the universal scale. Just going to scale it in, try to match it as much as I can to my reference picture. And then I'm going to do another Control E, and I'm just going to push it in a little bit. That's going to give it that look that it has some sort of frame around it. Once I have that, there's obviously a base. Take this and I'm going to rotate it so I can kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like so. And probably going to grab this face, Control E. I'm going to scale it in like this, maybe just a little bit inward, and bring it up. Slightly rotate it, and then slightly rotate it some more, Control E. And this time I'm not going to click on this little trigger because I want to use the direction of the face is going, and I'm going to bring this out. Now obviously this is a little much, so I'm going to probably start pushing it in as well, but that's the reason why you use this one, is because it extrudes based on the normal. Right, I'm going to click on this, and then I'm going to select this face, and I'm going to scale it. I'm going to rotate it to make it look like it's flat. Okay, I'm going to bring this down, and I can already tell it needs a little work, but I'm going to go ahead and tip it a little bit more and try to bring it down. So that's close. I could rotate it some more. Make it smaller, bring it in, right click, vertex, and bring it down all the way. There we go. All right, that should do it. Cool. Move this aside, and of course you want to slightly rotate it. Now notice that the scale and everything's a little skewed, so if you modify freeze transformations, it goes back to world space, and we can rotate it slightly. Okay, that was easy. Not too bad. It's a little thick, but okay, the laptop. The laptop has a little bit of a curvature. We could spend a lot of time on this laptop, but the focus is more going to be the desk, so it's going to be pretty simple. Let's grab a cube. I'm going to, bring this up. I'm going to scale it. All right, I'm going to scale it some more. It's pretty thin. But also notice that's a little thick up here, so I'm going to grab this face and scale it. Now, a lot of this is going to be done with textures. So for example, the keys and everything are going to be done with textures. So just letting you know what I'm thinking about. So then I'm going to insert an edge loop. I'm going to grab the face. Grab the face again, Control E, click on this little trigger and bring it up. Now most laptops actually lean a little bit, and this is starting to look a little thick, so I'm going to grab these guys here in the back and just kind of squeeze it. Now this looks okay, but I really want to get the nice curved edges that this laptop has, so I am going to give it some mesh. So I'm going to insert some edges here along the side and also over here. And I'm also going to do one here as well. Whoops. So I basically added 3 edges, well 4 kind of that one, and grab these corner edges or corner vertices, and I'm going to bring them down, and then I'm going to scale them in. Something like that. Whoops, too much. Something like that. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing for this one, but this edge needs to be a little closer. All right, so same thing. I'm going to grab these corner edges, and I'm going to bring them in and then scale in a little bit. There we go. So that gives it that nice curved look. And I'm trying to see if I close this. I don't think it's going to close. All right, let me grab this and expand it a little bit. Okay. Now it's huge. So I'm going to scale it this way. And bring it down. Okay. So far, so good. Again, modify freeze transformations, edit, delete by type history. Cool. File, save as. The lamp. Well, I usually start from the bottom up, so I'm going to grab a cylinder. Scale it flat, or flat-ish, and bring it in up here. That's huge. Focus in, by the way. I focused on the item so I can kind of get an idea of what's going on. I'm going to reduce my subdivisions to 12. I can always smooth it later, and I'm going to remove the cap. I don't want to fight those n-gons or those triangles. Now I have an n-gon, but I'll fix that later. Okay, so is this big enough? Looks like it needs to be bigger. Okay, so I'm just eyeballing it. Let's see, Control E. I like creating that slightly beveled edge, so I'm going to just kind of scale it in and lift just a little bit. That's going to give me that beveled edge. Going to extrude again. This time I am going to scale all the way in. And after that, I'm going to Control E again. I'm going to lift, and I'm going to scale. Something like that. Now this curve is going to be, I can try extruding it over and over, but I'm going to show you a trick. So the trick is to extrude from a curve. Create curve, EP curve tool, and I'm going to click something like so. So that's supposed to be the shape of the curve. So let me see what the texture looks like. Or so this probably needs to go a little high. So what I'm doing is kind of shaping the curve to look very similar to that piece right there. And hopefully it's going to look okay. So this is a curve right here. And if you right click on it, it's got control vertex. So it's very similar to vertices, except that this controls a curve and is mathematically driven. So I'm just trying to kind of get that curve. Maybe push this out a little bit like so. And good enough. So if this needs to be aligned to this, so I'm going to go to modify center pivot. It's going to put the pivot there, and I'm going to bring this in so that it's flushed with my geometry as much as possible. So the trick is that you're going to grab this top face, shift select the curve, and do a Control E. Control E means that you're going to extrude using the curve. I'm going to increase my divisions like so. And I'm going to show you another trick. If you select your object here, you see how it says poly extrude? That was the poly extrude we just did. This is the history. I'm going to scroll down, and there's this thing called taper, and you're going to bring it down like so. Not too much. There you go. So now we've got this interesting shape. Now I know there's something here. I can't really tell what that is. I'm just skipping it. I'm just going to pretend this is the way it looks like. I feel like it needs a little bit more roundness here. Okay. Shift right click, insert edge. I'm going to insert another edge here. I press 3 as a preview on the keyboard. If I press the number 3, I get to see what's going to happen if I try to smooth it. I think it needs a couple edge loops around the base here and here. So once again, if I press 3 on my keyboard, I get to see what it's going to look like once it smooths out. So I'm getting the shape for sure. I probably will smooth it because this is a little too sharp. So mesh, smooth. And now it is no longer a preview. This is actually mesh. Cool. All right. So moving on. I'm going to create this top. This is what looks more like a cone. By the way, if you do a V the middle mouse and snap, it will snap it to, you know, an object. So if you have something really far away, you just hold down V and then middle mouse and drag, it will snap it to whatever object you want. So V is vertex, so it snaps it to, it officially snaps it into a vertex. All right, let me increase my subdivision heights. This is way too sharp, so I'm going to round it out. Then I'm going to grab this one and bring it down as well, so it's going to be very rounded. Maybe even this one's going to go further in. That one's going to go like this, and then finally, might want to expand this a little bit. There you go, something like that. Probably needs to be crushed a little bit. Hold on, control. I don't want to get rid of this height. I want to just scale it on both directions, but this one. So if I hold down control and I click and drag, it will keep the height, but it will just scale based on this. So same thing for here. And the purpose of that is because I want to model this. I just want to make sure the height remains. Let's see. Let's tweak it a little bit more. I think this edge here, let's go to edges, double click. Let's make this a little wider here too. Something like that. Maybe this can, okay. Whoops. Vertex, grab this, bring it in a little bit. I might need to add my own edge loop right here so I can smooth out the transition. And let me grab can't grab the edge because I'm too far, I guess. Double click here and there we go. Looks a little better. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab this. So for this, I'm going to do a Control E. I'm going to just give it a little bit of thickness, just a tiny bit. Control E again, and then I'm going to bring it in. Of course, you need to scale it, so let's scale it in. Then I'm going to delete this face because it's an n-gon, and I don't like n-gons. Okay, and Maya doesn't like n-gons, so we'll just leave it at that. Okay, let's go ahead and bring this back and place it. Obviously, this is huge. I'm going to scale it. Maybe make it a little longer. Make sure it's placed pretty closely here. Blink, something like that. There's a couple more details I could add, but I might add that in the texture. Okay, so now I need to scale things because everything looks huge in comparison. I'm going to group these guys together. So I'm going to select these and I'm going to do a Control G, which is going to group them together. I'm going to modify center the pivot so the pivot's close by. And that way I can scale uniformly and the whole thing will go with it. I also need to make sure I select everything, edit, delete by type history, modify, freeze transformations. Here we go. And now I can delete the curve because I deleted the history. All right, let's label. This is going to be desk. Desk geo. This is going to be the frame geo, frame. Geo stands for geometry. Lamp base geo. I'm just calling it lamp top geo. I'm sure there's an official term. This is laptop geo. This is, I'm gonna call it drawers geo. I think I still need to work on scale. So if I grab this piece of geometry and press the up arrow in my group, it will scale, it will grab the group. So I'm gonna call this my lamp group. If I go to my outliners, Windows Outliner, you'll see that everything is nice and organized. I've got my reference image, my desk geo, my drawers. What's the cylinder? Oh, hello. I'm gonna call this handle geo 1. I can copy this, paste, Control C, Control V, bloop, and this will automatically change the 1 to a 2. Here's my frame, here's my laptop, and here's the geometry for the lamp. I can grab all of the desk pieces, do a Control G, modify center pivot, and I'm going to call this my desk group. So now this is very organized and clean. That is how you modeled the assets fairly quickly. So hopefully you found that helpful. You got to learn a couple of tricks. We extruded from a curve, we created our own beveled edges, and we basically modeled 3 assets fairly quickly. So let me know if you have any questions. So thank you so much for listening. I truly appreciate it. Hopefully you are finding this interesting and informative. If you think that this would help any of your friends, please share. Don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe. And again, you can download this at academicphoenixplus.com, where you can download this for free. Thank you again, and I will see you next time.